My lords, today I bring you a report regarding the empire known as the Myrians, who we recently conquered. During occupation of their homeworld, we discovered remarkable details about their origins in this galaxy. It appears that in fact, they are from another dimension or another timeline. I shall detail their account of their history for you now. For as long as we can remember, the Great Rift has loomed in the skies above Metra. Legends propose that our past is intimately entwined within this mysterious celestial scar and an ancient impact site near our capital city. For generations, the site was revered, but not understood. However, recent seismic activity has uncovered subsurface anomalies in the crater. Preparations are already underway to drill into its core. Opinions remain divided on what we may uncover there. Is it simple coincidence that this event has occurred just as we invented the hyperdrive? Just as we reach for the heavens, it appears our attention is pulled back to the ground. Perhaps what lies beneath the surface of this world is meant to aid us in our journey to the stars. Perhaps it can prepare us for whatever lies beyond the rift. A full excavation of the crater site has been ordered, and initial excavations into the base of the crater have revealed a fully formed cylinder made of a material called impactite. This cylinder is lodged deep into the earth. The vein must have originated from a meteoric impact of extremely high velocity. Initial calculations demonstrate the object must have arrived at nearly the speed of light. We continue excavation. At the termination point of the impactite vein, we have discovered an extensive cave system. Pools of underground water support thin lines and pale vegetation along the cavern walls. At the bottom of one of these poles lies the remnants of an anomalous spherical object. This is not a natural formation and appears to be the source of the impact site. We have finally recovered this sphere from the underground lake. While covered in vegetative growth, much of it appears fully intact. Its construction is a mix of highly sophisticated design and crude assembly. Perfectly smooth metallic plates covered the frontal portion of the ship, which must have reduced friction significantly upon atmospheric entry. The trajectory of its resting site aligns with the vein of the impactite, confirming that this sphere is the source of the metamorphic rock that led us here. Even more incredibly, there are signs that this vessel had passengers. We've recovered a cache of documents from within inside the ancient sphere. Each are written in an archaic version of our own language, and several of the documents mention names associated with our most sacred legends. An intricate network of ladders snakes upward from the impact site into a massive tunnel system. Based on the varying ages of the rope fibers, these caverns must have been occupied for several generations as the crash survivors worked their way out towards the surface. However, nothing we've discovered thus far could have prepared us for the final revelation. One of the upper chambers contained a burial site, and DNA analysis conducted on the remains reveal a shocking truth. These people are our ancestors. Where exactly they come from or why this place was forgotten is unclear. The salvaged documents are in a poorly state of preservation, but we have recovered data logs from the sphere. It shows that the vessel arrived in our star system by means of the Astral Rift near our homeworld, Metra. With some study, we hope that we are able to replicate and perhaps even improve upon the technology required to construct a vessel with these dimension-spanning capabilities. We will unlock the technology and call it the Rift Sphere. Several years have gone by, and our physicists and engineers have been hard at work constructing a Rift Sphere. There have been many tests and trials along the way, but we now finally believe that we are in a place where we can attempt to safely explore the rift that has occupied the night sky since the dawn of our time. Our best and brightest launched from orbit several hours ago. They are now on approach to the astral rift deep in our solar system. We will attempt to traverse this rift. Who knows what we'll find? The voyage into the rift near Metra has delivered us into orbit of a planet which appears to be in ruins. Upon entering its atmosphere, we discovered a landscape pockmarked with burning craters. Here and there, warships lay half buried in the sand. This world is a battlefield. Intercepted radio transmissions are frenzied and unnerving. Incredibly, the language of the inhabitants matched precisely with the documents that we recovered from the ancient sphere beneath Metra. Rough translations indicate that these people are on the losing side of an enduring conflict. Their foes are simply referred to as the invaders, and it would appear that these invaders are preparing for another wave of attack. Given the current levels of devastation across the planet, this may well be the last. We are going to attempt to search for remaining survivors. We have identified what appear to be several large population centres on the surface of the planet, and based on these transmissions, we believe that they are two distinct ideological factions. The first is called the Starlight Vanguard. They appear to be grim militarists and prepare for the coming conflict with a unified determination. The other faction is called the Black Curtain. They are a priestly spiritualistic order and promise sanctuary from the looming threat, although how they are going to achieve this is unclear. At this point, we're certain that the similarities in our languages cannot be mere coincidence. We believe that these are our living ancestors, and both factions are in danger. Although we would have liked to have contacted both factions, we decided to start with the Starlight Vanguard. Within several hours, we managed to open a dialogue with the militaristic faction, the Starlight Vanguard. Our language, appearance, and the presence of our rift sphere quickly convinced them of our common heritage. In their desperation to communicate, they revealed much about our history. Long ago, our species was confronted by an extra-dimensional threat. These invaders arrived to wage a brutal extermination campaign against our people. But despite all attempts, over time, our defences began to crumble. On the eve of defeat, the Astral Rift appeared, and as such, Operation Lifeboat was launched in a bid to escape through the rift and preserve what remained of their civilization. As such, these people constructed a rift sphere, but its rudimentary design only allowed for one-way travel. This was the very object that we found buried deep inside the ancient crater on Metra. A select group of refugees was prepped for the mission. These are our ancestors. On this side of the rift, it would appear that this sphere was launched less than 50 years ago. There are some among these people who still remember that day, yet for us, eons have passed. Clearly the flow of time is vastly different here. We held further counsel with the Starlight Vanguard. They have made plain how grim things stand in their war against these extra-dimensional invaders. Fleets have been detected in several star systems, on an inbound vector, closing in fast, and it would appear that we have arrived at a critical moment. This is no coincidence, and our presence is an act of fate. Their lead council member spoke. Your arrival has inspired our people. Please give us the critical aid we need, and we may yet have a chance to end this war once and for all. Our science teams analysed their remaining fleets. They showed that they were in poor condition and would likely not withstand another loss. Without our assistance, these people would be annihilated. We should, in theory at least, be able to send a limited amount of supplies through the anchor cable before the rift becomes unstable. A shipment of direly needed alloys may help their technicians repair their fleet, and potentially enhance it if possible. Given the advanced construction of their ships, perhaps we will learn something about ship design along the way. However, a potentially wiser use of our time may be to apply our more advanced knowledge of astral thread into enhancing their ships' shields. While experimental in nature, we may be able to make breakthroughs here that could benefit our own fleets as well. It is also our understanding that these invaders favour energy weapons. As such, any improvements that we're able to make to shields could go a long way. The last choice available to us is to simply abandon them. We have not yet visited the other faction, the Black Curtain, but if we understand it correctly, they do not wish to fight, only hide and preserve if possible. We made the decision to offer these people as much assistance as we can. After all, we are one of the same. As such, we offered them a bulk of astral thread with the view to enhance their shield emitters. We believe that these extra-dimensional invaders are similar to the unbidden, aberrant, and vehement that we know of in our own galaxy. If their weapons are of a similar design, shield enhancement will prove extremely valuable. It would appear that the little amount of astral thread that we've been able to pass through the cable has already greatly benefited these people. We have managed to increase their shield strength by approximately 300% so far. However, the time ticks on, and the invasion on our ancestors' home planet is now imminent. Following our original meeting with the Starlight Vanguard, we have been invited to a World Council for an emergency meeting. The Council took special note of the aid that we have given so far, and praised us greatly for our generosity. There is little time for action before what many are viewing as the final conflict. We've been informed that the stockpiles of energy are dangerously low. Contributing a donation would boost the production of emergency support ships and potentially push the battle in their favour. However, many of their scientists are also requesting more samples of astral thread to allow them to further experiment in enhancing the shields of their fleet. Considering the progress that we have made so far with what little we were able to send, the benefits could be potentially significant. Although we would have liked to have sent both energy and thread, we could only choose one, and as such we sent more astral thread through the cable. Several days have now passed, and I'm extremely happy to report that our ancestral fleets managed to repel the extra-dimensional invaders. Wild celebrations have erupted across the planet. The astral thread that we provided for the battle not only proved to be successful in significantly boosting the shield outputs, but as it turns out they also used it to supplement the fleet's fuel supplies and boost sublight performance. This experimental application has been shared and can now be used for our own fleets. Their World Council is declaring a planetary holiday in our name. The Mirians' new Foundation Day will be celebrated for generations to come, and they have also suggested that one prominent figure from their society can return back on the Rift Sphere with us, to our empire, to act as an ambassador and a historian on behalf of their people. The rest of them shall remain on their home planet and rebuild. The final entry we have regarding this event reads, "The discovery of our ancestors has invigorated our society. We are a progeny of an ancient civilization from which we have gleaned valuable knowledge and technological expertise. Our journey through the rift was a momentous one and will not soon be forgotten. We should be thankful for the opportunity provided by our progenitors. Our very civilization is a testament to their will to survive. Our success will be a tribute to them. We brought back with us a fleet commander. They embody the spirit of our ancestors, and I believe they will significantly enhance the output of our military fleets." Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed that origin story. I highly recommend that you launch up Stellaris and give it a go. It's a lot of fun. If you want to hear more Stellaris lore, then please click the video on screen now.